Make sure you watch these cards because they didn't get the reprints in this year's Megatins. You guys smash the crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out more. I was kind of starting things off over here with the Sprite and Friends. You guys remember Sprite Red, Sprite Blue, Sprite Power Ranger, Sprite Full Extension combo? Well, good news is Sprite Blues, as of filming this, for the Alties are still $25. Maybe $26, give or take, tax and other things out there. But Sprite cards are definitely going to be something that you're going to want to keep an eye on out here, because when something that's considered a little bit of a meta contender out here tends to dodge said printing, eyes kind of start to turn around and people kind of look around and they're like, what's going on here, guys? You know, why is the value in this starting to despair? Or, you know, why are we seeing the disparity in this? And that's what we're seeing right now, is exactly just that. Sprite cards are now on the better keep an eye on this, or something could potentially suddenly spike up. And it's my little fair warning here. Next up is Kashtira Rise Heart and a Rise Heart. Yeah, I know, I say both of those pretty much the same. But one of our extension friends makes the big walking, talking macro Cosmo guy. And, well, you know, the rest of the value that is kind of associated with what comes out of this. And you know what? My problem with said, you know, good cards here is, hey, you know, where is the little extender for this? You know, what do you want me to do with, I mean, we got Fenrir, we got Unicorn, but these two are the more troublesome cards. They're the cards that, you know, do kind of make the deck into the current menace that it actually is. And I'm not saying that it's, you know, crazy to watch these, but there has been a little bit of hype going around right now because people are like, oh, you know, they're not going to end Kashtira's existence. Copium. But we'll have to wait and see. But keep an eye on both Rise Heart and the Rise Heart as we go down this perilous journey. And then there's punk cards. Yeah, Jam Dragon Drive, Extreme Session. You know, we did see some of these other cards get reprints, but for whatever reason, they took a look at the punk stuff and they're like, toss it into the bin over there in the corner. There's no real point. Nobody cares about that right now. Well, the biggest complaints I've heard were, where are my upgrades for Jam Dragon Drive? Where's my field spell upgrade, Konami? Why are you putting in, you know, terrible things that we could have actually enjoyed? And the problem is we just didn't get them. That's all there is to it. So keep an eye on punk cards. Obviously, punk is one of those decks that does kind of come in and out every once in a while. I know people tend to blink and kind of miss the deck. They're like, oh, wow, you know. Yeah, it does that. Next up is Valance. I honestly don't think that anything is going to go too crazy in the Valance department. But they did set the Valance lore up to get a crap ton more cards. Like, this deck is supposed to have so much more in terms of its lore that it's actually crazy. So I wouldn't be surprised at this point in time if maybe the next round of support spins this up. This is definitely one of those. We didn't reprint it in the near future. If we dump a new support card on it, woo, things could go mildly crazy. That's a lot of the trends that you do tend to see with these sorts of things, is the reprints are meant to keep things down. Now, if prices are already down, we don't need to see those immediate reprints, but, you know, seeing something, you know, kind of spin back out of control here, I think could actually happen, but we'll have to wait and see. Next up is our friends over at the Goaty Dome. Now, I know that the whole 10 people that still represent and love this deck. No, just kidding. I actually like Goaty quite a lot. I like the concept of the deck. It's cool. They're about due for an OCG exclusive, or a core set card, I would think. And depending on what said card actually does, is probably going to affect the market on the Goaty side of things. Now, most of the TCG exclusives usually do suffer from the oops, no reprint syndrome. Libromancer was a pretty interesting exception to that rule this year, actually. But from where we're sitting right now, I wouldn't be too surprised to see some weird Goatee buyout, depending on when the next wave of support. Oh my gosh, it's almost like Valence. The only difference between this and Valence is Goatee's guaranteed to get something, but lore reasons on the other side. We'll have to wait and see, but I'm glad they didn't reprint Goatee stuff because I didn't want to pull it, but I feel for people. Next up is Vicious Astraud and Manadeum cards. So every set at this point in time, well, first of all, Vices got the reprint. I know a lot of people were super happy about that, but that doesn't solve the Colarium no here. We got, no Vicious Astraud. It's not like Vicious Astraud's a terribly overpriced card at this point in time. But this is something that you do got to be aware of. You got to be aware that the market is shifting around right now, and there are all sorts of things going on with this. And I mean, to be fair, Manadeum is projected to be a contending meta deck for quite some time. So based on that, you are going to want to keep an eye on both factors here, strictly because, yeah, Vices did get the reprint. That does help. Now, everything else in the said pool is now in the oops factor list. So keep an eye on those so you can kind of see what's going on. Next up is Magnifica. Oh boy. As Exosister cards see massive return back to the game. Magnifica cards do the oopsie daisy, spinny roundsy, upsy, they gozies types of play. And I find that very interesting. When one card in an entire deck core doesn't get reprinted, now everybody loses their mind. Anybody remember Flunderies and the Advent of Adventure last year? Where we just saw all of a sudden, this deck has gone up exponentially. Well, guess where we're at right now? It's the exact same thing. Magnifica didn't get the reprint, but the entire core did, so now you start to see Magnifica creep up on price because the budget player's like, hey, I can finally get Exosister. Why would I not want to take advantage of this? Like, that would be crazy. And people are like, wow, I can't believe this is going up in price. It's the law of Yuginomics. Speaking of no reprint, Big Welcome Labyrinth. You can get an entire Labyrinth core minus Big Welcome Labyrinth on pre-order for $50 at this point in time. And you gotta go dump another $40 to get a set of Big Welcome Labyrinth. The problem is, you also need a Chaos Angel, Pot of Prosperity, Pot of Extravagant. It depends on what your build is at this point in time. But let's be honest here for a second. This would be fantastic. I know a lot of people that were like, ooh, budgetary options. Nope. Big Welcome actually did worse than Magnifica. It has been spinning up way crazier at this point in time. And once again, no reprint. What do you expect to happen? Tier 1 deck? Oh, shucky darn. Everything else is now budget? Okay, well, it's what happens. So I'm genuinely impressed with that one. Absolutely good stuff, Konami. And then there's the Guardian Chimera lack of said reprint in the tins here. And all the Illusion players out here, the whole 20 of them, are actually rejoicing. They are super excited for this for whatever reason. I will say this, Guardian Chimera should have been double-dipped. You double-dipped on the Rite of Armesia package for whatever reason. I still don't know what the logical explanation for that one was, why you felt that we needed extras of that in circulation, but you know what? Okay, that means we're probably not going to see reprints of that stuff for a very long time, so now we'll see how value spreads, but Guardian Chimera has been such a meta pounder for, the time being. I feel bad for the lack of reprint of this, so yeah, bad news if you're trying to pick up Illusion branded anything right now, but we'll have to wait and see if that deck will even survive on a future ban list, so that's one good thing. And then, of course, Kurikara, like, where's the hand trap everybody was super excited about? Budget players were like, well, I can finally get Kurikaras, and it's gone, or was never really made. I still have a feeling this might be in Rarity Collection. I think it would be a proper place to put it at this point in time, but man, oh man, what in the world is what is going on here in terms of just dodging this? But, well, that's where we're sitting right now. all real things considered. So those are, watch these cards before something goes haywire, because Konami didn't want to reprint them. Strange. Leave a comment down below, tell me what you guys think. I'll see your beautiful faces back here later today, guys. Peace out. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.